What's up, guys? I'm back, and today we're gonna be I'm gonna be showcasing something I think is pretty cool for the most part, and that being, give it a minute to load. Yeah, that being, let's just give it a moment. Let's give it just a few just a little longer. Spider-Man 4. This was apparently there was a Wii game that was, well, as far as we know, like there was probably gonna be other console ports of it, but Spider-Man 4 the game, it's not finished, not by a long shot, but there was a while back, I think this was leaked onto the internet by something like a developer kit for the Wii or something was released, and on here people found Spider-Man 4. So yeah. Now it is still very experimental, but we got a few things here. So we could go to the level. I think I'm going to show y'all the first couple of levels first, just to showcase it to y'all, and then we'll get into the debug menu little area. There sadly is no audio, and as y'all can see, very much unfinished, seeing as how the entire city is just not even textured. But, you know, it's still playable for the most part. It's still completely playable. Oh yeah, another thing. The soundtrack just like super flares up the second you start swinging. And the combat seems mostly finished. For the most part, it seems they had most of the game already done, aside from like the fine-tuning and details and all that. Like they had like the web swinging and like all that. It's done. Like I'm not gonna say it's fully like bleh, ready. Like they bleh, like it has a lot of fine-tuning, like a lot of fine-tuning. But yeah, if you're wondering how I'm playing this, actually, I'm using an emulator, only because it's basically the only way to... Okay. It's basically the only way to play this, as far as I know. But yeah. But yeah, I remembered how a while back that one video I made on the debug build of Spider-Man 3, I guess, did, and I thought, oh yeah, a while back, I thought, oh okay, that video did pretty well. And then I was reminded of something. So yesterday, yeah, I remember about this yesterday. Because the thing is, like, I knew about this like from a few years back. I think it was some news a while back, but I randomly just got recommended a video that was, this debug. Oh, I did not know you could do that. That's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. But yeah, I was recommended a video that was, it was Russian. The video was in Russian, I'm pretty sure. Of just just the dude just playing this, and it reminded me, oh yeah, this exists. And then the dude in the Russian dude, the description itself is in like Russian, but he left a link to a website, and that website had a download link, and now we're here. And I'll leave a link if y'all want to play it. I'll try to leave a link. You're gonna have to use Dolphin Emulator, but the thing is, you can't use normal Dolphin Emulator. On the website, it says what version Dolphin you should use. But yeah, as y'all can see, game works surprisingly well, and still, as I mentioned earlier, very unfinished. Like the health bar, I'm almost certain has to be a placeholder. But there's actually a few cool things about this thing that I've noticed. as far as I can tell, it was meant to be basically like a pseudo, not open world, but like levels, like huge, like linear levels that had paths. Because there's actually two paths you can take here. You can take this little path that, you know, that leads through here. And now let me just die real quick. This should respawn me up there. Oh, another thing, you can't touch the street. You'll just die. But if you take this little path over here, you'll go down through here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. You'll go down through here, swing through this, and you take a completely different path. So, as far as I can tell, the game was meant to be basically, you know, little mini, kind of big, open-ish levels that had multiple paths, but all went to the same location. And now, as you can see, this is a different path that's very much different. I want to showcase both parts of the path. Okay, so this is one thing I actually think is, like, a really cool animation. When you, like, run into these billboards, he does this little wall run, and it's so cool. And I think I'm gonna die so I can let y'all see the other path. Because the other path is pretty interesting. This other path, I think, just basically shows off this game's, not parkour mechanic, but... Oh yeah, they also have the swan dive mechanic that's pretty cool, but it's not fully finished. But yeah, they have this little segment where you can, like, where it showcases basically their parkour engine. It's not fully finished, but it's there. And it flows pretty well, like, you know, aside from it being a bit jank, it flows pretty well. And yeah, that's basically just the two paths, and as far as I can remember, yeah, they basically just merge into each other from around this point. They just become the same path. It's just, do you want to take the swing route or the more parkour-centric route? And yeah, now we're back to here. So now I'm just going to go through this as normal. The second level that they have on here, I don't really think it's playable, but it's just not as good. It's mostly just a small swinging section, and then you just climb up a building, and then swan dive into a different building. It's just not as good. But I'll showcase it just, you know, for the sake of showcasing it. We're recording, right? Yeah. Alright. I think that wall climb animation where you climb over the ledge is pretty cool. Alright. The combat, it's good, but I'm not fully sure it's fully finished yet. Because either it's just, there was never meant to be a dodge button, or you just kind of have to like play it like Ultimate Spider-Man and just kind of like jump whenever you see it. And they also have this weird little like jumping on people mechanic, where you can kind of jump on people. And you can web them, but it's not really that effective. You see, it's not really that effective, but you can throw them. And I really like the animations for combat that this game has. I don't know why, but something about it just feels... Oh, that's no. That's no. Well, that was the end of the level. Yeah. One second, let me just close out of it real quick and... Oh no. Come on. Okay. Sorry for that. Let me reopen this up real quick. So I guess the game just really didn't want to showcase that second level. Okay. Let's reboot this back up. Let me close Task Manager. Okay. Apologize for that. Was not expecting that to happen. How long have we been recording for? About 9 minutes. I'll show the almost second level. It's not much. It's mostly just kind of, as I said a minute ago, it's just kind of swinging with a little bit of. It's a little bit of swinging and then a climbing section. The swing, for the most part, feels pretty good, aside from it being kind of on rails and not much. One thing I would like to note about the combat is it feels very much kind of like the one fight scene from the first movie. Like, y'all know the one. I'll probably show a clip of it, but it's very reminiscent of like the fighting from that little bit of the first Spider-Man movie. It was when he was, I think, saving Mary Jane from those robbers. That scene, like, it's very reminiscent of the combat from that scene. Okay, so I was wrong. It wasn't from the Mary Jane scene. It was from just a random scene of him fighting crime. So I was wrong, but I did get the movie right at least. Which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, as y'all can see, this is mostly just kind of like a test of the game's climbing and, you know, I think it's lateral climbing. And I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, they also have these cool little pulse wings. And then a swinging segment. And then you just kind of fall into this giant pit. And as far as I can tell, I'm not sure what the levels those would have been. But yeah, we also have this. One of these, if I can select it. Come on. Gameplay prototypes. It has these three things. World simulation is an unplayable cutscene, basically. Combat is just a brief combat encounter, but navigation is the most interesting out of these. So I'm going to showcase navigation. It brings us to this debug room. And this debug room has a few cool things to note. As y'all can see, we have different little areas. And they all actually kind of are basically testing for different parts of the game. Like here's where you can test the pulse wing mechanics, which surprisingly work. Like, it's surprising how almost done this game was. Like, it is like, again, still very close to not working. No, it's not that, it's bleh. It's obviously still very early development, but for what was accomplished within like the very small amount of time that would have probably had to make the game, like, it's almost a shame that they just scrapped the idea entirely. Like, they could have potentially just transformed it into a different game that wasn't connected to the movie, because, like, there was obviously a lot of work that was put into this to make it work properly. But here we have a bunch of swinging tests for, you know, different types of swinging. Like, this is just mainly just, I don't know which one. Here we have web zip test, where you test the web zips and all dibbity bop, you know. That's just, and then here you can test, you know, swinging into a web zip. So, you know, there is a lot of mechanics present that just, that, as far as I can tell, just went to waste and were never reused. Because, okay, so this game would have probably came out around 2010. The next Wii Spider-Man game after that, I think, would have been Web of Shadows and Edge of Time and Shattered Dimensions. And none of those would have used the swinging used in this. Web combat? Wait, what? Huh? How did I just miss this room in my... Oh? So when I was just testing this game out, like, yesterday, I just somehow missed this room, apparently. Oh, okay. Animations are slightly broken now, but... Oh, so you would have been able to kind of shoot to where your cursor was pointing. Cool. I'm currently using an emulator, so the cursor and a controller that isn't motion controlled, so that was kind of not functioning properly, but that's still pretty cool. What was this again? Oh yeah, West Wing Street. I still find it funny just like how much the soundtrack just flares up the second you start swinging. Like, it is just like a mega flare up. But yeah, I think that's almost about it. I don't know. It's not, there's a few more things, but this is basically almost all. Like, there are like a few other things to it, but like, you know, there's not really. This is really about all there is to it after, you know, what I've shown. Okay, I was trying to do a little thing where you can swan dive into a swing, but that also doesn't really work properly. Well, it works, but yeah. Okay, here's where you can showcase that little animation I was talking about earlier with the whole like web run thing, where you can, you know, jump onto a wall and it'll just kind of do that. And another cool thing, this area, it's basically the parkour mechanic I was talking about earlier. It's basically where you can test that out and see all the different animations working properly, and almost all the animations, aside from, I guess, needing to be sped up a bit, they work pretty well and are really, like, impressive. Oh. And he can also jump on an even higher platform, such as this one, this one, this one, and even this one. Oh yeah, I forgot, you can kind of glitch your way into one of the other rooms. Which one was it again? I think it's the Swan Dive room. You can it's not a game mechanic, it's not part of this little build. Okay, I can't do it again, but yeah, you can glitch your way into the Swan Dive room, but I'm not really gonna go there right now. Anything else I could potentially try to show? I don't really think I got really anything else to show, so there is one more thing actually that I'd like to showcase that I think is actually pretty cool. That being the main, like, model, you know, the Spider-Man model. It's, all in all, actually, like, a pretty good, like, no, not, I might showcase those, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, here we have the model viewer. What are the buttons? These are the buttons, okay. One moment, trying to figure this out. Here it is. But yeah, here we have the Spider-Man model, and it's pretty good all in all. Like, you know, pretty detailed for, you know, what it is. And the lenses and stuff, I'm pretty sure, like, partially, like, 3D. Like, they're not too... Yeah, they're 3D. And I think the emblems are as well, but I'm not 100% on that. The webbing most definitely is a flat texture, but I think the emblems, couldn't speak, are good. And then we have what can only be assumed are some enemy models. This guy has no animation, but, you know, he exists. And then we have this version of the Spider-Man model. If I had to say what my best guess for this one is, I think this might be the cutscene model. And my only real reason for thinking that is mainly just due to, like, the slightly, like, almost brighter coloring and better lighting effects it has on it, and just in general, like, it just looks more slightly higher quality. Wait. Yeah, very much bleh. Almost definitely higher quality, I would say. And I can't fully tell, but the emblems look different. Yeah, those emerald... Bleh, why am I trying to say emeralds? Emblems are very much, I think... I can't fully tell, okay. I still can't tell. Alright, zoom out. Alright, well, oh yeah, we also have... presumably also a cutscene model for generic thug or whatever, I don't really know. Oh, well, I guess now all that really leaves is, the, just FX viewers and stuff, so... What's Night in Midtown? Oh. Yeah, they have these little, like, they have these little areas that, oh no. That are just kind of like, test for, like, different assets and stuff. And I don't think many things that, nothing really has any collision aside from the ground, and even some points of the ground don't have collision, apparently. But, yeah, like, for the most part, like, all this, oh, we can punch, but we cannot swing. Oh. What did I press? I'm not gonna test that out. Yeah, for the, you know, like, it's all in all pretty impressive for what the Wii would have been able to handle, and honestly, like, I'm intrigued as to see what, like, the Xbox and PlayStation ports of this game would look like, because I don't think it was ever meant to just be a Wii game, because, you know, every other... Oh, no. All the other, 1 second. Actually, I will just, quit the main menu. All of the other, all of the other, you know, Spider-Man games were on every console, so it wouldn't really make sense to have this be the console exclusive. But yeah, this is all mainly just different, you know, tests for, you know, different assets and stuff. So yeah, I think that's about as much as I can show, because it's still really cool what there is available on here. There is still barely anything available. There's still barely an idea of what the plot would have been. I wonder what FX Night in Midtown looks like. Because I know it's meant to be like an FX test. Okay. As y'all can see, you know, pretty good effects. Alright, well. Yeah, we don't really get any idea what the story would have been. All we can guess, it would have been similar to the leaked Spider-Man 4 story, or parts of it that were leaked was, you know, Vulture being the main villain. But aside from that, I don't really think we got any information on anything else. Oh, well, this little news stuff right here kind of has some clues. Like, it talks about this one guy getting attacked, and he worked with Adrian Toomes apparently. And if y'all didn't know, well, y'all probably would. Adrian Toomes is the Vulture. So they into some slight story stuff with, you know, Adrian Toomes working with someone, and then that dude getting attacked. If I understand, the only thing that wouldn't have made sense was because the Vulture appeared in the first Spider-Man movie game. He wasn't in the movie, but like he was in the first game based off the movie. So I wonder if they would have mentioned that in the game or not. And I'm not 100% certain, but if y'all, I don't know why, but like there's like a mouse cursor. That ain't my mouse cursor, it's just like a random mouse cursor. I'm almost certain this back image right here is a costume test for one of the Spider-Man movies. I don't think this was ever actually in any of the movies. I think this is like a costume test. Like that was a behind-the-scenes thing, because I swear I've seen this image in a behind-the-scenes thing once. Now these two, I'm pretty sure were. They also have with great power comes great responsibility going through the screen. Oh, but here are other things. Subway crash victim saved by costume figure. Yeah, from the looks of it, there's not really much else to showcase, sadly, so I think for now, I think this is gonna be it for now. See you guys later, and see ya.